everyone who thinks Quentin Wilson looks like Count Dracula. But we have to admit, Count Quentula has a point. The 205 is a very stylish little car. Its big brother, the 309, however, is a dog. It has all the grace, poise, beauty and elegance of the inside of a power station. The 309, however, is dead. This is its replacement. It's called the 306, and boy oh boy, does it have its work cut out. It's about to wage war in the most competitive, cutthroat part of the marketplace, taking on, among others, the Astra, the Escort and the Golf. Price-wise, the range goes from 9 grand for the cheapo 1.4 to 12 grand for the lavish 1.8. This one, the 1.4 litre XR, is good value at £10,500. For that, you get the usual dazzling array of equipment: electric windows, burglar alarm, power steering, engine immobiliser, stereo, and an immense feeling of space. I'm not joking, it actually feels bigger in here than it did in the Jaguar XJ12 that we looked at a couple of weeks ago. However, the size is offset to a certain extent by a rather curious driving position. Set the seat so that your arms are comfortable on the steering wheel and your legs get all squashed up in the footwell. Set it right for your legs and you can't reach the steering wheel, which does tend to make cornering a touch difficult. And that's a shame, because this car, like all Peugeots, handles like a dream. I could prattle on about the wheel at each corner layout and the torsion bar rear suspension, but basically you could sum it all up by saying Peugeot make better mass-market chassis than anyone else. They don't even disgrace themselves on kart tracks, because the 306 has a good ride too. Now, this handling malarkey is all very well if you like to get your foot down, but what if you just want something that'll get you to the shops? Let's take a look round. Space in the back. That's not too shabby, unless of course you are chauffeur to Demis Roussos. The boot. Well, it's not exactly the biggest I've ever seen, but it is quite practical. Styling. Well, I don't think this is Peugeot's best effort. It's not ugly, it's just a bit boring. And I want to know this: who chose the colour? Stevie Wonder? Engine. Oh, brilliant. It's got one. Actually, while we're on the subject of engines, Peugeot and their partners at Citroën make, I think, the best diesels there are. So, if you specifically want an oil burner, this might be quite a good bet. Certainly, there is a problem with the 1.4 litre petrol model. It may do 35 miles to the gallon. It may have good mid-range power, but it has the sprinting ability of an earthworm. It takes a woeful 15 seconds to get from 0 to 60. Mind you, that at least means it will be cheap to insure. So, what we have here is an average car that's let down by below average performance, yet helped up by absolutely superb handling. That's probably enough to make it my favourite car in the class, but if you're not bothered by such things, might I suggest you draw up a list of all the alternatives, including the 306, put on a blindfold and find yourself a pin. The trouble with cars of this type is that they're built and equipped to a price. They're the automotive equivalent of fridge freezers and tumble dryers. They're efficient, but dull. I was expecting some pizzazz from the 306, but I'm afraid there isn't any. It needs roughing up a bit. It's like the best behaved kid at school. You want to push its head down the lavatory. So, I'm off now. I'm going to plug it into a power station. See if that'll liven it up a bit.